looks like we are live. How cool is this? I finally figured out this crazy software. Oh my God, it was not easy, guys. How does it sound? Give me a quick shout out if it sounds good. If the, let's see, good sound, good picture quality. Let me know if it's terrible or if it's good. Gotta get the hair out of my eyes. So you let me know. I think we're going to have a good live stream and keep our fingers crossed. This is part 2. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Sound is good and everything? Sound good? Brad said thank you. Wendy's here. Welcome back. And let's see. So we got David. I haven't seen you in a while, David. Scott, great to see you. And Andre, how are you, sir? Good to see you, Andre. So we are working on part 2. It's pretty exciting. See, we're going to mask her face, work on the hair a little bit, get that going, and then move forward. Then we're going to mask off the hair again, and then we'll go ahead and do more detail on the face. So believe it or not, I had to struggle really hard to figure this out, you know. The way that YouTube does the algorithm now, it is totally crazy. I'm telling you, it's not easy. So definitely, Raul, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, so we have a really nice live stream going now, and let's see how many people we have. So now there's a whole thing like a. There's like a whole control room. I could see that we have 5 concurrent viewers, 8 playbacks. So it's really pretty cool. And so, Rick, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. Great to see you. So that's really cool. So we have a lot of good people here as always. So that always excites me. Having a bad hair day. Not my fault. Well, it is my fault. But you know, I was so busy, so couldn't get too involved in the hair. Hey, I'm an artist, not a beautician, right? So that's how we have to look at it. So with that being said, let's go to our work here, and here we are. And so I can see everything, and so now what we're going to do is yes, well, Wendy is a beautician, that is true. Wendy says, give me your hair. Oh, that would be great. John, how you doing? What's new, my friend? How you feeling? Okay, so we are really cooking with gas right now, or cooking with something. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? All that good stuff. So now we're going to continue working on the hair. Remember, I'm still in the light mixture. Now, when you do it this way with the paper, you got to make sure. Oh, good to hear it there, John. Definitely. Good to hear it. You still want to hold it because you don't want to have the ink crawl underneath the frisket here. It's not really frisket. It's just a paper mask. So with everything, it's a give and take, you know. You're not having the volatility of the frisket, which sometimes will tear your paper, leave glue. There's really nothing that you could really do. It's going to do something, sometimes more than others, right? So let's hear about some disasters that you've had with the frisket. I'm sure we have frisket disaster stories, right? Everyone does. And so he used dog clippers. Oh my God, that's cool. Well, your hair looks pretty good there, so good job. Now, if your hair was looking crazy, then I would say, okay, you know, we gotta talk. But your hair looks pretty good, so maybe you can have a second career, you know, second career, giving people a haircut with dog clippers. Just don't tell them they're dog clippers. So as you see, what I'm doing is just mapping out the hair, you know, the large shapes. And then going from there. Mapping out the hair, then going from there. That's pretty much. How about every time Brad uses the frisket? Yes, one of my students and good friend, Phil, he did one with Frisket and it just tore the paper to shreds. It was horrifying. And there's just no telling, you know, one Frisket to another. There he is. How are you, Chris? Good to see you. How's it going, my friend? There we go. And just little by little, working on the hair, not going too crazy. Remember, I don't want to stay in the hair. I don't want to stay anywhere too long when it comes to this. I want to take my time. And the hair is definitely not the focal point of this painting. Although it is a very important part, it's not the focal point. So as you can see, I just did a very loose layout of this, and then I will lift up this paper here. And as you can see, there we go. So look at that. So what we had before, what we have now, even though it seemed like we didn't do a lot, really did translate into a lot. So that's very cool. So I'm still going to work on the hair a little bit. I'm going to go on the outside. Patrick, good to see you. How are you, man? Great to see you, Patrick. So once I learned this whole thing with the live stream and the new program, it's actually really pretty great. It has like a control room and everything like that. Let me see if I can show you. It's really pretty cool. So I'll give you some of the inside scoop of live streaming here. Let's see. So we'll go to this camera. You got me, you know, so I'll let you know some of the ins and outs, right? So that's cool. So glad you're here, Andre. The camera is hyperactive. No, that's me, Wendy. I'm the hyperactive one. I didn't have my evening coffee yet, so, you know, I'm kind of trying to change my hours, so to speak, just a little bit, not too much, but I want to have more morning time. Right now, morning time is sleeping, you know. Oh, Andre missed the last session. I'm glad you're feeling better, my friend. That's so great. Yeah, someone pour me some coffee. I need coffee. Coffee is, you know, it's so funny. The first thing I always get, I always make sure I have an extra 2 pounds of coffee. And even that, after the extra 2 pounds of coffee, I have emergency coffee. And then from that, I have some instant coffee. So no matter what happens, if there's nuclear holocaust, God forbid, I'll have coffee. So you can see where my priorities are. So just mapping this out slowly, guys. It's not a rush, you know. And so now I do have that. I'm using this as a freehand shield as well. So. Which is really cool. So I highly recommend this technique. So I can use it as a, you know, as a total frisket or even a freehand shield. So it's really great because what better freehand shield than something that's exactly cut out for your painting, right? So that's pretty cool. So that's really neat. Nope, I haven't announced them yet. That's down the pipe. But I do have some interesting news. There's going to be new additions to my inks. So keep abreast of that situation, guys. I think you're all going to find it very exciting. I'm just doing the finishing touches on it developing, but you know, it's definitely geared for the artist, something that you know, no one has thought of before. And I really think you guys are going to be the first ones to see it and the first people to get a chance to purchase it. So it might be next week, so we'll see. So very exciting. You're right and half right, but it's going to be, Chris, it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to, oh, I need some voodoo dolls. Neon colors. Yeah, glitter. That would be great, you know? Just paintbrush and glitter. And I'll be very flamboyant, you know? That would be funny. It would be Airbrush for divas. So that would be exciting. So that's something we've been working out. And no cats out of the bag, that's for sure. But we're just in the finishing stages of the development, which is very, very exciting. That's right, Dr. P.H. Martin, you got nothing on Tim. That's right. Thank you, Chris. Tim's a-coming. Hear my footsteps. Well, you know what? See, I'm an artist like you guys, right? So if I develop something, that's because I wanted to use it rather than have some paint company you know, developing it to have another artist who basically is painting 6 hours a day because he's, you know, trying to eat from this stuff. And hey, Willie, how you doing? Good to see you, Willie. Always a pleasure. Hey, Willie, I finally got the new, I got it down, the new YouTube studio for airbrushing. So you'll be proud of me. And I didn't scream and curse, although I wanted to. But I had to actually do a lot of tests during the week. But I did them as private so you guys weren't bombarded with all new videos that were like 20 seconds of me going testing 1, 2, 3. And that would not have been fun. So still with that light mixture, you know. Let me see if I can pull back just a little bit. There we go. I want you to see the whole thing, you know. So I have been studying the science of light and how it reacts to three-dimensional forms. And I just finished a nude I put up on Facebook. That painting actually sold, by the way. Sold within a half hour. So that was very exciting to have a painting sell within a half hour. But it was all a reaction to my learning about three-dimensional form, you know, how light reacts to the human skin and muscles and the larger forms and the smaller forms, you know. David, so cool to see you. I'm glad you're in good health. That's so great. And so, yeah, it's always a pleasure, David. I'm so glad you're here and feeling good. Thank goodness for that. That makes... Wow, could you imagine airbrushing with with invisible ink? You just have to sense the artwork, I guess, right? So I'm going to use my freehand shield here. Perpendicular and not parallel. Now in the smaller areas, since we're doing, you know, blonde hair, there's not much blonde hair. So to do it in the white ink would be overkill because we would be covering most of it up anyway. And like I always say, when we're working in the beginning, everything always looks like, you know, really dark, but everything else is very light, you know? Yes, Andre, it is, let me write that down for you, my friend. So I will, let me see, USAairbrushsupply.com. Right? And My code is Timothy PSA, and that is for 15% off. So that's a really good discount I can get you. And the airbrush, of course, if you decide to get, is the Extreme Patriot Arrow. Before you do purchase it, shoot me an email, and that's at paintedglyphs@gmail.com. And I'll tell you the different things you have to do to pretty much modify it to make it a super detailed airbrush that kicks the Extreme Patriot in the butt. Okay? So, well, kicks not in the butt, kicks the Extreme Patriot's butt. So that's good. so that's good. And I followed your advice and got the Iwata. Very nice. That's a nice little compressor. And it's nice and quiet. So that's good. So yeah, definitely. You know, it is... yes, Brad says the modifications are very inexpensive, but changes to a so-so airbrush to an extreme airbrush, you know, because those changes really make a big difference. Now, there's two airbrushes you can get. You can get the Extreme Patriot Arrow. The difference from this basically is the small cup. Those of you who work small like me, that's the choice. But if you find yourself working really big, then I recommend the Extreme Patriot 105. Only difference is it has the bigger cup. But if you're doing murals and stuff like that, this is not the one for you. This would definitely be the one for you if you're working bigger, large. This is when you're working small like me, 8.5 by 11. So same inners, everything like that. A couple of things you change out with me, and then you're gonna have an airbrush that you're gonna say, wow, this airbrush costs under $100. How's that possible? That's because you got me, you know? So that's basically it, you know, in a nutshell. So there's still some little large dark areas here, and you know, and always notice that I'm not getting too much into detail. I'm just looking to get the ensemble, right? That's all I'm looking for, and I'm moving around a lot because I want to see what the values are next to one another and how they relate to one another, and not bring one area up too far and the other area, you know, lagging behind, because then you have a lot of pieces and you don't have a very coherent painting. Now, those of you who've been with me a while, you know about John Augusto Dominique Angra, and what does he always say? Paint the ensemble. Do not paint an eye, a nose, a mouth. Make the painting feel like it's been painted all in one breath. And there's a lot of sense in that, because if you're painting an organism, which the person is, it's a bunch of parts, but it is, she is one person. So that's why you want to really, how do you say, you really want to get a feeling that she is a whole person and not a bunch of pieces, right? So let's see. I think my picture's a little cold. So let's see if we can change it a little warmer. Can I maybe add some contrasto? There we go. That's a little better, I think. What do you guys think? Yes, no, maybe? Let's see if I go this way. Yeah, that's a little more close to what I have. So I like that. Okay, so we're just going to continue moving on, and let's work on her eyes. So yeah, my airbrush of choice, of course, for the bulk of my painting is the Extreme Patriot Arrow. I, of course, change out the needle. I change out the trigger. I put a MAC valve on it. So, and I also use a pack valve. So it's like extreme micro adjusting of the air pressure. And I think it's the one airbrush that really has that ability on any airbrush on the market, you know. Oh, thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. And Willie says, Tim, you should do a video on your modifications. Thank you, sir. I think that would be a great idea. definitely. And I know it will increase the sales because, those modifications, as you see, they really do work. And it just takes that airbrush to the next level. Now the design of the airbrush is fantastic and enables me to do that. But yeah, those modifications really make a big difference. So now the decision should be made by the W's. Now what exact? Oh, Wendy and Willie, yes. That's true. That's funny. I'm going to increase, see I can micro adjust the air pressure a little bit, which is really great. So that's fantastic. And so yeah, as you see, that control room is really fantastic. I can see my live stream in a little window. I can see how many concurrent viewers. I can see everything, and I can even have my volume up. So yeah, I mean, there were a lot of growing pains, and being temperamental. I got mad at YouTube for a while, but it's all for the best because now I have a better experience. Todd is in the house. How you doing, Todd? Way to go. Good to see you. So we got some really cool people here, and let's see. So since Todd is here, and what I'm going to do just for you, so I just want to do that for you, Todd. Let me go put this back. There we go. The sound went out. Let me see. The sound is back. Is it good? You know what it is when I change cameras, there's no sound on that camera. Yes, it is. It is the crazy camera. Sourceit, how you doing all the way from Scotland? Good to see ya. So, yeah, that camera, I turned off the sound. So with the extreme close-ups, I'm kind of worried, if all that extreme with the sound, it could be too much. So, so a little bit of levity here, a little bit of fun. Where's the water sounds? Alexa, play stream sounds. Let me see.
Here's How Far I Go by Ali Carvalho on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. No, that wasn't it. Alexa, play stream sounds.
Here's Stream Sounds by Satorio on Amazon Music.
There you go, Wendy. So now we have stream sounds. So that's cool. Oh my God, we're right next to a babbling brook or a babbling artist, no matter how you want to look at it. That's me, the babbling artist next to the babbling brook. Alexa, lower volume. Okay, that's not too loud, not too crazy. So, how many live streams? You got Alexa going, you have extreme close-ups, and you have a painting. So this is kind of a lot of firsts with Tim's live streams. I'm so glad you guys are here hanging out with me on a Wednesday night all late. ASMR, that's right. And now you're going to hear the airbrush. Look at that, ASMR. You hear isn't that cool? So that's pretty cool. I looked it up and people actually already did ASMR painting. So I'm way behind. Wendy says this makes her want to go to the bathroom. So yes, I can't even say her name, If I say her name, she'll be activated. So let's see. Alexa, turn off my compressor. No, thank you. She didn't find a device named my compressor. So we got to get like an airbrush artist version of Airbrush artist version of the Echo. That would be really good. So that's something to look forward to. Maybe we could. Now I used to work at Amazon, but they never listened to me. Actually, they probably like hid when I went in the hallway. So I never had the option to actually talk to anybody. But that would be a good idea. And a Echo that is geared for the airbrush artist. It could be like mix my inks, you know, or change the air pressure to 22 psi. Right? That would be amazing. So we definitely have to look into that. That's for sure. I think I'm out of ink. Yes. So let's go ahead. So those of you who purchased the new bottles, what do you think of them? I think they're pretty cool. They're a lot easier to transport. They're pretty neat. This is what I find though. So if you do have the new ones, sometimes ink gets in there, you know. So go ahead every once in a while and wash that out. The reason being is this way that won't dry and get into your ink bottle. It's just an ounce of prevention. I think that would be really good, you know. Alejandro, all right, that would be cool for the ladies. Be like Alejandro, you know. Now, is there a male version of the Echo, like a male voice? I never thought they did. Alexa, make Wendy 18 again. That would be amazing.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Oh, see, I can't say her name. I do. So she said that she's not sure to make you 18 again, Wendy. So I don't know what happened there. So I got to be careful if I say, you know, her name, especially during the live stream. See, if you guys could talk, you could make my Echo do all kinds of crazy things, and I would have no recourse to fix it. So we are just working with the light mixture. Like I always say, there's no rush, right? And so she has a pretty pronounced, like very manicured eyebrow here. Not too manicured because it does a little something interesting right over here. It kind of goes down a little bit. That's cool. So we have 26 concurrent viewers, guys. Isn't that something? 26? That's our record. So that's pretty neat. I mean, if we hit 30, that would be out of control, especially since I've been having trouble with the live streams. So this would be a nice comeback performance of the live stream, right? Now here's interesting. So remember I painted with the white mixture the lights of her eyes, but looking at the whites of her eyes, they're not even remotely white. So I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to soften that up a little bit. You know, Ingrid, how you doing? Good to see you. How are you, Ingrid? So Ingrid is here. That's exciting. So thank you so much. And so Ingrid is here. Ingrid, I'm going to do something interesting for you. This is a new thing that I'm doing. It's kind of silly, but so am I. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do you, Ingrid. Let me put this back. Okay, and now we're working again. It's like so, you know, every time we get someone who hasn't been here before, we're going to do some extreme close-ups. That's all it's to it, you know. You know why? Because we can. That's why, you know? Just a little bit of levity. 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 Little bit of levity never hurt. Everything's so serious, right? You made a pie for your friends, a bourbon bread pudding. That's amazing. Wendy says it's like a camera roller coaster. So I should, in camera 2, I should go ahead and put, so right here. Phone. So when we do go to the extreme close-up cam, at least we're going to hear it. So that's good. So there we are. You guys hear that well? So that's fantastic. So cool. So who's not friends? Everyone's friends here. We're all friends, I hope. Definitely. We're all cool people. Only cool people who want to hang out with someone like me. So that's really good. Let's see. So right now, I'm going to start to work out some of the light shapes in her eyes here. And so there's some, definite shapes here in the eyes I want to begin to stress here. Same thing. She has like mascara or something. And although it's makeup, it's still part of the portrait, It's still one of her features at this time, Hey, Patrick! So good to see you! So, vive la France! So that's great. So I'm glad you're here. And yes, we do need more Frenchmen. So I appreciate that, Patrick. And we appreciate you. Let's see. Now, what I'm going to do is I probably will have to come in with the eraser and erase some of these excess pencil lines. Alexa, repeat.
I'll repeat the song.
Okay, cool. Alexa's repeating. She's repeating the stream sounds. That's good. Thank you, Alexa. Well, she did, and now she's not. Alexa, repeat song.
I'll repeat the song.
Hey guys, 30, and you guys gotta see this before it goes away. This is the first time. I want you to see that. Let's go to the roller coaster cam. Look at that, 30. Oh no, that's playbacks. Okay, here am I thinking it's concurrent. Never mind. Okay, so here I am getting excited over nothing. But anyway, so let's go back. I thought I had 30 concurrent viewers. I almost got extremely excited. So that's good. No one needs me extremely excited anyway. So Andre says we should tell you-know-who works for Skynet. I heard about that. Yes. That is very interesting. Yeah, Skynet. That's hilarious. Yeah, I almost don't want to know, right? Right, Andre? That's scary stuff. I'm going to take a quick drink of my soda. So I'm drinking generic brand Sprite from Aldi's, which is pretty good. It's like 59 cents a bottle. It hasn't been 59 cents a bottle since 1970, so I couldn't pass up that deal. That's the thing about Aldi's. You get some really good deals. Wow, she'll sell my pinks at discount. Could you imagine? Hey, if she got me a good deal, I might hire her as my agent, right? Even at a discount would be better than my sales. Have you guys ever seen that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix? It's almost like the future of the dots, you know, the echoes, which is pretty interesting. So you see here, everything is still very light. And what I can do is I can increase. I'm going to turn my fan on a little bit, getting a little muggy in here. Even though it's cold outside with all my lights and everything, it gets a little hot in here. Everything's light, so looking at it, maybe I can increase the contrast. Let's do that. So I'm just going to increase the contrast just a tad, right? Nothing too crazy. There we go. I like that. I think that's a little better with the contrast. Maybe too much because it's not indicative of the actual painting itself. So I'll increase this and decrease this. Just, I think that's better. Okay, much better. So that's good. Wind sound. That would be interesting. That would be scary, Wendy. It'd be like I'm in a hurricane or something. I don't know if I'm on board with that. Now, does the fan cause sound problems, or is it doable right now? Guys, I got so excited. I thought I had 30 concurrent viewers, but it was playbacks. So that means 33 people have played it. But that doesn't mean that 33 people were on at the same time. But 33 people did view it so far, so that's not bad, right, guys? I mean, that's not bad at all. So, hey, I'm happy that anyone watches me, honestly. Yeah, you know, she has blonde hair and dark eyes. Very interesting combination. She might not be a natural blonde, I'm not sure. Nothing wrong with that. You know what they say? If I can see it, it's real enough for me, right? I'm not a purist, you know. If someone wants to be blonde, God bless them, they're blonde, right? That's right. So you each count for 2 viewers that we are now at, and we did hit 30. That's a good point. Bill, how you doing? Great to see you, Bill. All right, Bill, all the way from Jersey. He's a fellow Jersey boy, as I am. So that's really good to see. So we have several Jersey people in the house. There's nothing wrong with that. So no, the pipes didn't break in my bathroom. It's just I have some water sounds going. So studies have been I think Wendy told me that there were studies that sounds such as rain and water like that actually relaxes people and creates a sense of wellness. Was that you, Wendy, who told me that? Somebody did. Or I could have imagined it. That wouldn't be the first time I imagined something. 60 views, that's right. That's right, Andre, you know? So, Wendy's at least 3 people. That's cool. Okay, so looking at her forehead, I put in some light, but it really isn't much light there. So I'm about 4 inches from the surface. Now there is a light shape right here. So I want to go ahead and establish that shape. So I'm going to be about 4 inches from the surface. And I'm just going to worry about getting the anatomy of the forehead. A lot of people, what they do is they treat the forehead as a metal plate, and that's not what's really happening. The forehead has a lot of anatomical features and everything like that. Let me show you. I think my iPad didn't die. I think I was low on energy yesterday. Let me see. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you can see this. I have 1% energy, so that means I could show you my passcode and that's it. Do you guys have a problem with actually charging your peripherals and stuff like that? You know, your phones and everything? I always say, yeah, actually I should plug it in because I'm at 1%. Good question. Be right back. Just plugging in my iPad because Wendy told me. Yeah, 1%. That was crazy, right? That was really, you know, playing with fire there. Oh, so Chris says 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, not far away, my friend. That's hilarious, right? So isn't that funny? Sometimes when you joke and say, oh, this is what it is, you're closer to the password than most people would have ever guessed, Chris. That's hilarious. I remember the Seinfeld episode where George Costanza's pin, the pin for his account was Bosco. And Kramer almost guessed it correctly, which is really funny. Wow, you never had yours at 1%, so that's good. You keep up on it. That's right. There you go, Chris. So Chris has the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. Am I right, sir? That's cool. Hey, that's a fringe benefit. That's what I look at it as, you know. More power to you. So I'm not doing much in turning the forms yet. That's going to come. But what I'm doing now is just getting a tonal fabric along the whole painting. And from there, I'll start turning the forms and slowly darkening everything. So right now I'm using the light mixture, right? So with the light mixture, I'm actually able to go dark, but I'll never go too dark because the light mixture never allows me to go too dark, which is really great. And it's easily erasable at this point, which is fantastic, you know? So that's really cool. So I actually turned over a new leaf, I think it's like 2 months ago, actually a month ago, where I became like an extreme neat freak. You know, I was never a tidy person, and that always kind of, you know, got in the way of productivity, believe it or not. And so I said to myself, if I can become more tidy, I know it would be really rough as far as transition, right? Because transition, oh, let me put on my gloves. So these gloves are so important. And so everything that I basically use is actually on my website, and that's in the description field. And that's where you can find all the items that I use, including the gloves. Now these gloves I have small, medium, and large. So if anyone's interested, I have all sizes. So that's really cool. All right, so so I started trying to be a neat person, a tidy person. I was always kind of untidy, right? I was never like disgusting or anything, just untidy, not like crazy or anything. So now I have a schedule of mopping my floor. Let me show you. This is really cool. I'm kind of excited about it. Let me see if I can show you. Actually, the best way I can show you is this camera right here. So I have several cameras, which is very exciting for someone like me. You know, so I have to get the cameras. So I want you to see this right here. See my bookshelf? It is like totally, that's amazing. Like everything is in its place and a place for everything. That's just nuts. So that's one of the things I've been working on lately. But how do you guys do it? Like, what are some of the secrets that you have for doing something like this? All right, so let's see, go back to this here. Okay. Do I have a girlfriend? No, I don't. You would think I had a girlfriend, right? Because I'm being tidy. But that's the thing, you know. It's like the first time I'm not trying to impress anybody. And it's funny, it's the first time I'm not trying to impress anybody and just being neat for the sake of being neat, right? So that's weird. So that's basically, you know, what's happening. So right now it says I have 0 concurrent views, but you guys see me right now, don't you? Andre says my airbrush would be jealous. Okay, so that's weird. So, okay, back to 14 concurrent viewers. All of a sudden it said, actually I got 5 miles over the speed limit. Oh, you go 5 miles over the speed limit. Holy cow. So what do you guys do to try and be more tidy or something like that? Because I'm always looking for suggestions, you know, and stuff like that. Now right here, we want to think of planes as things turn towards the light, right? They turn towards the light and they turn away from the light. So that's what we want to do. We want to sort of turn this area above her eyelid and below her eyebrow. We want that to turn slowly, right? And you can see that this top part just below the eyebrow, and in this area there's like a light triangle, and that triangle is the lightest because it's facing the light most directly. Wendy says she's an OCD organizing freak. Wow, so that's pretty cool. You should do a show. So who's gonna? Oh, Alexa's gonna start. Oh, I said Alexa. Uh-oh. Wow, she didn't hear me, so that's good. Hey, Mike S., good to see you. How are you? So glad you can make it, Mike. So Mike is here. That's good. That is great, actually. So how you been, Mike? Let's see. Public relations. That's hilarious. So, even though we're in the beginning, we still want to, in certain areas, try to make it turn. Different parts of her, trying to make that turn. And same thing. So once we do something on this eye, now this eye is going to be our focal point, right? And then this eye is going to be our secondary focal point. Then probably the mouth, nose, hair, that sort of thing, going around that area. Oh, the kids bring pumpkin pie. That's pretty cool. Oh, Mike just woke up. Oh, cool. Wow, that's cool. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the eye here. Still with the light mixture, right? So there's not... I am going dark, but not crazily dark. So let's go ahead and blow up a little bit. Let's blow this up. And I'll show you that, you know, we can definitely realize that the white of the eye is actually very gray. And then, like anything else, so the eye is turning this the eye is turning this way and this way. So even though the light's coming from the left, as the white of the eye turns further and further inside the eye socket, it gets away from the light. So that's why it's going to be a little bit darker in here, right? And then here we have the iris. And let's not worry about going around the white of the eye. We don't have to worry about that, because our white pastel is really going to take care of that for us. Now we do have the lower eyelid, which comes out a little bit, and we're going to leave room for that. And of course with the eye, it's a little bit darker on the edge. See that? And you can see I have such, great control with this airbrush. And the India ink actually gives you more control than anything you ever tried. If you haven't tried the India inks, really do. If you ever wish you had more control and precision and didn't have to deal with spitting and all that, this would be really great for you guys. I think you will really love it. So definitely something to look into. Actually, it's crucial to look into, because it really will help you gain control and understand what viscosity that you really need to put the airbrush at, the paint inside the airbrush, and understand about, PSI, using your MAC valve, that sort of thing. All very important things, All these things we have to consider. And if we're worrying about, reducers and mediums and stuff like that, I'm not saying it's too difficult, but if you're just learning about those things, or you haven't really got a full grasp of it, then these ink mixtures really will, help you get there. And then when you do go to, let's say, create text or something, you'll really have a game plan on what you need to do, Oh, the border restrictions, that's true. Oh, look at that, a long-term relationship. Well, it's getting very interesting here, that's for sure. Live streams are always very interesting, so that's cool, getting a little drama here. Hey, Tone, good to see ya. How's it going? So, Tone, you're gonna get an extreme close-up, because I don't know, I'm just gonna do it anyway. So let's see. So Tone's here, so we get some extreme close-ups, and you can see my fan club right there. And look, that's the new YouTube analytics sort of, I don't know, it's control room. So it shows like all the people in chat, concurrent viewers, 16, which isn't too bad. According to Andre, that's times 2, that's 32. And here are the inks and airbrushes. This is my airbrush. There's some really extreme, crazy close-ups and some things you missed. Right over here, you can see my really super neat bookshelf over there. Anyway, so good to see you, Tone. Glad you made it. Let's put this back. And we'll go back to our regularly scheduled program. And let's see. Okay, so now, Tone, it's good to see you. How did that mural come out? Tone was doing a mural, and it was really looking fantastic. I was watching that on his live stream. Is that finished, Tone? So, okay, so now I think we're okay for now, and we caught up this eye with that eye over there, so that's good to see. So straight up, so you just go north and you're going to hit Brad in a couple of days. Oh, glad to hear it, Tone. That's pretty cool. All right, so now, so I think there's sort of a matchmaking going on or something like that, or something. or maybe like a 90-day fiance. Have you guys watched 90-Day Fiance? Where, you know, they don't know if they're getting married for a green card or whether or not, you know, that's hilarious. I think it's on TLC. See, TLC is basically a channel that you watch things like hoarders and everything, and you just feel better about yourself. You're like, I'm not like that guy, you know? So that's pretty funny. Let's see. Okay, so now we went ahead and did that, so I'm feeling confident about that. So let's zoom out. So as you can see now, the eyes are starting to look a little bit better, and you can see that it's sort of out of balance. Looks like she has too much mascara. That's only because this other area needs to be dark as well. Now what I can do is I want to have some really nice hard edges, and so I'm going to go ahead and bring back the Frisket, you know. Yeah, even I know, Chris, that's true. So Tone says he has some lettering eventually, finally started using the Badger. Nice. I'd like to hear that. That's really good. So guys, you remember I cut this out earlier, and this is to help me keep those really beautiful edges on the face, you know? Let's see here. So is the extreme close-up cam, is that really scary? It is October. I just gotta shake things up a little bit, guys. You know, I really do. Gotta do stuff that kind of show my crazy side a little bit. I know a lot of people be like, well, just paint Tim, you know? But that's okay. Let's see. So I'm going to start with this side. I'm just going to make sure that this side is correct. 110%. Because it seems like it's not really 100% aligned. That happens. So I'm just going to work on this side right now because I want to... Oh, the Patriot, yeah. So Andre said he just ordered the Extreme Patriot. Oh wow, the 105. That's exciting. Yeah, this is the Airbrush, Andre, and it's just beautiful. Now the beauty of the whole Extreme line is look how far that needle comes out. Let me change the. See that? This is the only live stream where you're gonna get, you know, hands-on information about the Extreme Patriot 105 and Extreme Patriot Arrow. Now here's something that Mike S. Started telling us first, and then Brad had the same idea. Mike S. said he took the spring from a lighter, a cigarette lighter, and then Brad takes the spring from, let's say, one of your pens that has a clicker, and cuts it to, like, what is it, 2 or 3 coils, and puts it in. I'm going to do I'm going to go ahead and do a video on that. That would be really cool. Beautiful airbrush. Now, my Extreme Patriot Arrow, I went ahead and changed the backing to a Sotar backing, and you can get that backing at airbrushsupply.com. It's a Sotar backing, and I take off the there's like a backing here that gets in the way. The reason is I want to get to my needle really fast, and that's why I do that. Oh, the one with the small cups, and that's this guy. Yeah, so you're going to be very happy with that. Yeah, the big cup is more for people who are doing big paintings, murals, that sort of thing. So, okay, so I have this side pretty much, and I want to just maintain some of these beautiful edges. And you can still go perpendicular, not parallel to these. And right here as well. And then, I'm constantly worried about the anatomy of the forehead because there's a lot going on in the forehead. We just think it's like, just this smooth plate, but there's the orbital ridge, there's muscles, there's the eye socket. So there's a lot happening. The temporal lobe, a lot of things going on that we really have to pay attention to, blonde number one fussing through her purse. Oh. You guys are funny. So yeah, Andre, I'm so glad you got that airbrush. Did you use my code, sir? I hope you used my code because I would give you 15% off. So that comes out to quite a bit, Okay. And just making sure that I'm getting everything clean, See how clean everything is? That's the name of the game, is cleanliness. Yeah, that was my whole thing. Now I'm trying to be tidy. So could that be why it is? My tidiness from my airbrush work is kind of spilling into my regular life. That could be it, right? So I'm just gonna make sure I get this edge correct. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna work on this edge right here. There's a little bit of a shadow right over here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit that. Okay, great, perfect. And you use the 15% off coupon, Timothy PSA? Now, if you didn't, let me know. I'll still get you the 15% off. If you weren't unable to do it, I'll just contact customer service and they could give you a refund if you didn't put in that code, Andre. See, I got you guys back, You guys have my back, I have your back. That's the way it is. So, it's a nice little community we're building here of like-minded individuals. Just want to have more control of our airbrush, right? And we're not afraid to do things slowly, right? Okay, you did it. So this is what I want you to do, my friend. So what I want you to do is I want you to email me. Here's my email address, okay? paintedglyphs@gmail.com, and I want you to send me your order number, okay, Andre? Email me your order number. I'll contact customer service. We'll get you that discount, and I believe they'll go ahead and they'll give you a refund back on your card of the difference. So I don't want you to lose that discount. You can use that money for other stuff. You can use that money for, a good sandwich. You can tell I'm kind of hungry, guys, because I'm thinking the first thing that comes up is a good sandwich. So I think that's pretty funny. How about you guys? How have your appetites been lately, with October? I mean, do appetites get, stronger in the cooler temperatures? Or is it just that we're inside, we don't have outside things to keep us occupied? What do you think it is? Chris is my agent. Well, I do got the new product coming up, which is very exciting, and I think I'm going to unveil it next week during the live stream. And there's going to be a special, so for those who come to my live stream, there's going to be a special price for my new product. So isn't that exciting? So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. So I'm excited. So a special rollout price for those who will be at my live stream next Wednesday night, you know. Oh, you want pumpkin pie. Oh, for the first. Yeah, that's true. Yes. So, Willie says he thinks so. That's cool. So, yeah, I think it is. You know, the cooler weather makes us have stronger appetites for some reason. I wonder what the correlation is. Well, Brad said in Canada, Patrick and Brad are from Canada, so on Sunday was their Thanksgiving. So last Sunday was Thanksgiving. So happy belated Thanksgiving to you guys. We don't have ours until the last Thursday of November. That's our Thanksgiving. Okay, let's see if we can go ahead and work on her eyes a little bit. So zoom in. This is not an extreme close-up like the other one. This is a serious extreme close-up. I really need to get more of these. I'm running out. Look at this. This is what I'm working with. Nubs. You know? And how you work on the eyes, really. Let me look at that. I can even focus in. The powers of the internet and technology is astounding. They are astounding. Honey on her hand. Oh, that's right. Chris's coquito. That's famous, I hear. I definitely want some of that coquito. That's for sure. Now, coquito is amazing. It's like a coconut drink, and it has rum in it. And am I right? Is it rum? Now, some has vodka in it, but I think it's rum, right, Chris? You correct me, sir. Now, this eye is significantly. This white of the eye is significantly lighter than what's over on the other eye. So I'm just going to, with my aggressive eraser, I'm going to get rid of any ink that I put in there. Okay. So it is rum, right? But I think I had some with vodka as well. I definitely had it with rum. Am I running out of light mixture again? Look at that. See, I'm painting up a storm here. I'm having fun. I'm talking to you guys. But I'm also painting up a storm. So I'm actually filling my ink up for time number 3. So that's good. So you see with the extreme close-up here, you can see the detail that you're going to get, Andre, with this airbrush. So it's like, this is like hands-on. So Bacardi rum, yes, and that's from Puerto Rico, if I'm not mistaken, right? The Bacardi warehouse is there, right? Or the distillery. Now, there's a program called Pure Ref. I talk about it all the time. The good thing with Pure Ref is that it's always on top, right? So it's pureref.com. Now I'll show you with the other camera, right? So we'll go here. Let's see. So let me pull out the other camera. So I'm doing a lot of camera work today, guys. So here's my screen, right? So I want to show you the. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Yeah, it's showing here. Let's see. So here is the picture that's always on top. And let me make this bigger. Maybe I can do that and just make it bigger. Let's see. Okay, so I'm making this bigger. No, it's not working. So when I actually go on the screen, it actually goes into infinity. That's not good. So scratch that idea. So basically, Pure Ref really works, and that's all I have to say about that. So I'm unable to show you guys, because once I take a photo of the actual camera, it becomes like a camera inside a camera inside a camera, and goes into a portal of someplace or something like that. Okay, yes, infinity, that's so true. So let's go back to her eye, and her beautiful eye here. And we're just going to really darken the white of the eye, because the white of the eye is not white at all. Like I said, we'll really turn things. And one of the things I also want to always stress is always look at your edges, right? It's never too soon to not look at your edges. You know, where is it fuzzy? Where is it sharp? Extremely fuzzy over here, right? So we're going to just start some of that fuzziness. So the babbling brook is getting stronger. I don't know if that's a good thing. Willie, you got to get up in 4 hours. Okay. So, I'm glad you're here. So Willie gets up early, right? He has an early job. So I'm always happy when you guys, make it here. That's such an honor. I just have to say. Now here it's interesting, I kind of missed the boat here, and it's good that I can correct it at this point. Let's see. See, here we have a lot more of the lighter part of the under eyelid, right? So we want to make sure that we express that. I think Willie's a hitman, if I'm not mistaken. Like maybe John Wick or something like that, Hey, if if Willie starts speaking Russian, we might think he is like John Wick. The first John Wick was really good, and then it started becoming like ridiculous, like just unfathomable, unrealistic, right? It's the good question. The pencil marks are really, they're only visible really to the extreme close-ups, but as we zoom out, you'll see that they're pretty much non-existent. They're only visible, and then, as we go darker, they pretty much disappear. So good question, Chris, that's for sure. He melts steel, so that's not easy. I melt ice cream, but I don't get any money for that. That's really cool, though. I think that's neat, welders. Very interesting work, if you ask me. It's a creative field in itself, I think. Definitely. Yes, Tone says the first two were good. The third might have been crazy, right? I know. The first one I really loved. I thought it was fantastic. Easier than melting a woman's heart. You ain't kidding. It's not easy melting a woman's heart. I try. I'm not always successful. That's why I'm alone in a tidy house. That's exactly it. And let's see. So I have some nice edges to work with over here. And let's see if I could zoom out. Let's pull this off. So look at these beautiful edges we have. Now you see I did miss the mark a little bit here, but that's okay, easily fixable. This is where aim comes in, right? You gotta have good aim. And that's why I say it's so important to practice. Practice your aim, guys, because that will always pay dividends, you know? Oh, I wish I could, Chris. It's not easy, you know? That's not my talent, unfortunately. I wish it was. Now, is there someone out there who I'd like to have their heart melt? I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell. I always say, get your career ordered, then get the girl, you know? So that's what I'm doing, getting my career in order, then I'll get the girl. But I don't want to get the girl before my career is in order. I think that is the cart before the horse, I think. Oh, Wendy says she has the lowdown on women. Oh boy. Oh, well, Brad, that was a great movie. Have you guys seen the wood carving, scroll saw painting that Brad did of was it Agent Smith? Just amazing, really fantastic. You get a chance to see that. That's for. So Willie says we need to have a long talk then. So right here, I'm going to zoom in and just show you how you can easily fix something like that. But what it does, it takes pretty good aim, you know? So right here, you see that I kind of went over. And like you say, you know, it might show up here, but it's going to disappear when you look further away. So what I'm doing is, and then what you can also do is you could soften that edge, you know, with your aggressive eraser. And then you're pretty much fixing that area. And everything's going to get darker, so everything is going to get fixed. So don't worry, everything is very fixable. And that's why if you wear glasses, wear them, because this is the part where you're going to need that tight detail, you know? Oh, Wendy says that Brad's looking at the wrong women. That definitely could be it. So you see how I'm able to fix the wrong quite easily and then come in and reinforce the hair. So that's why, you know, it's really important to get good aim. And how do you get good aim is to really practice your airbrushing when you're not painting. And if you're beginning or a relative beginner, I would say you should be practicing at least 15 minutes a day. Like set aside 15 minutes a day, and I think that will definitely pay dividends. So as you see, it might look really scary close up, and when we go back out, see that? It looks pretty good. and you really can't see. And then as we go, we will, adjust and, erase. So it's like there's nothing you can do, not much you can do in the early stage that isn't fixable, isn't easily adjusted. And you see we have a little bit of cast shadow from her hair over here. And as Chris said, yes, we are going to definitely have a lot of the pencil lines going to go away as we darken things, and we'll erase them here and there. Oh my God, I can't believe Chris said that. Not that I disagree, but I can't believe that Chris said that. So I'm like, what is it, farsighted? I can't see things close up. So like when I need to wear my glasses when I'm painting tight detail, but otherwise I need to take my glasses off, so I'm constantly adjusting. It's kind of annoying, right? Let's see, so Mike says they all think they're nice until after the ring. Oh, I am definitely not going to partake on either side of this fence. But yeah, those are definite strong words there, guys. I like to think there's an angel for everyone out there. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Gonna always believe that. Always, always. I know she's out there. She's hiding, but I know she's out there. Or she's not ready, or what have you. But yeah. No romance. That's the thing, I think that, the most romantics are the ones who are sometimes the most, gun shy, so to speak, right? So I think those guys are romantics. It's just, kind of been dealt rough hands. But, when you get off that horse, you got to get back on that horse, fall off again, get back on, and keep falling off until you get the right horse, I think. But then again, when we're talking about women, we shouldn't be talking about horses, because women are not horses. That's for sure. Women are queens, right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so I'm just going to work on some more detail here. I am kind of ignoring her mouth a little bit, so let's, circuitously work on the mouth. So I'm going to do the cast shadow of the lower lip on the chin. So I want you to really, it's so important to just identify the difference between form shadow and cast shadow, okay? It's actually very crucial. So definitely keep that in mind. Form shadow and cast shadow are two different things. They react differently to light, and so we definitely want to always identify, is this a form shadow or cast shadow? This part of her lip, that's all form shadow, because the lip is an object, it's three-dimensional, and it's being affected by the light. And also, the more light facing parts of the lips are going to get more of the white. The least light facing parts of the lips are going to get more of the shadow. And since it's a form shadow, it turns away from the light. And so as it turns away, it slowly gets darker. As it turns forward, it slowly gets lighter. the more rounded an object is, such as a ball, the slower that progression from light to dark goes. However, if it's more oblong, then it's much quicker. So it's much quicker transition. So that's what we're really going to concentrate on during the painting, is the difference between form shadow and cast shadow. So as you see, the light's coming from this way, right? And so this side of the lip, of course, the upper lip is going to be darker. This side of the lip is going to be lighter because it's turning towards the light. And same thing with the lower lip. The lower lip, this side of the lip is going to be lighter. This side is going to be, this side darker. This side is going to be lighter. And also, as it turns down, it should get darker. But what's happening here, why you're seeing a lot more brightness in this part of her mouth, the lower lip, is the reflected light, which we'll touch on later. These are very complex concepts, but we're going to go over that during this painting. And that's something that I really want to stress, is we really have to understand and try and decipher the different types of light and shade, and also why we're painting it. Not just, yes, we do want to go ahead and copy values and edges, but we want to know what kind of shadows those values are, what's creating those values, right? Then you'll have something more profound to say about it. So those are things that, you know, I touch on in my live streams. Now, if you ever take my classes, my workshop, I go much more in depth with that, and that's really cool. So I recommend that if you want to take this to the next level. But that's strictly up to you. No pressure sales here. But it definitely is taking your work to that next level. Now, as you see, I'm just turning her form. I'm not thinking of her lips or the mouth. I'm not thinking about the mouth. I'm thinking about three-dimensional surfaces, you know? And that's important. Let's see what we have said. Would someone want to keep work on the eyes at the same time so you can keep the symmetry? Yes, definitely. So we're always working on the eyes at the same time. But remember, this eye is the focal point. This eye is the secondary. So I'm always keeping this eye a little further along. Same thing, but I don't want to stay with the eyes too long because I want to make sure that any area that I'm ignoring, that I address, Chris. So it's always good to move around, you know? To have like the perfect symmetry is not as important as getting the whole idea of working the ensemble. And it'll make sense as we go down the line. Same thing with her teeth, you know. I'm going to really pay attention to the soft qualities of her teeth. And we'll lighten that up. So we're really not seeing much in terms of a lot of detail. A lot of it's implied detail. And of course we'll get into that even further. And we're staying away from anything that's too linear here. But we do want to get the values and the tapestry of the teeth, right? That's very important. Very true. Good point is that you do want to, Mike made a good point. You do want to make sure you're moving because you don't want to get any part of the paper too wet. So very astute, Mike. And why the right eye, the focal point on this one? And that's the thing. It's your painting, right? So it's all your personal choice. So definitely, I like the right eye. I think it's very expressive. It's the light in the eye in the light, and so very important. So, you know, what I can do is probably darken here, darken this area a little bit because it's a little light. And so yeah, maybe I needed to, good point, you know, it's always, hey, it's always good to have some feedback from other guys, other girls, you know. And you can see, yeah, perhaps I could put a little more detail here just to bring it up to speed. So that's good, Chris. So definitely, it's always good to have feedback, right? Feedback is a lot of times on the money. And like I said, it looks blotchy at times, but that's only because we're in the middle of it, right, guys? And that's something that we always want to pay attention to. So let's go back to our beautiful teeth here. And go. Teeth are always tricky, guys. Always, always, always. Never easy. You gotta pay attention and you gotta be patient. And everything is super, super soft edge in their teeth here. And they certainly aren't white. And we can always add white later with white pastel, you know. Wendy says her paintings always go through an uglier stage than, oh, well, no, that's not true. It's just, we want that finishing look, you know. Uh-oh, Chris says it's his witching hour. So I hope you have a great night, Chris. Always great to have you. Thanks for your great comments and your input. So fantastic. And I will talk to you very soon, hopefully. So thank you, Chris, for all the work that you do out there. Stay safe. I appreciate you. Now, I'm going to wait for that to dry before I do anything. Don't do anything rash, you know. I don't want to do anything rash here. It's very soft right there. Just an indication of that lower tooth there. I mean, we're talking super, super soft. See that? Just super soft. But it's so cool, you know, and I'm not looking, so right here there's no delineation of any more teeth. Even though we know they're there, it's just super, super soft. So I'm not getting involved. See, my job is not to add detail. My job is to paint the detail that's there, right? Oh, my pleasure, Chris. Always the best. Yeah, so Mike here with a good point. Moving around is also important because you don't want to oversaturate. And that's something that, you know, we always got to watch out for because we work on paper. Now, I think someone earlier said, I think I just realized, someone asked what paper I use. The paper is color line paper by Canson. I hope you're still here. I don't know why, it's like I just remembered. So color line paper by Canson, and it's 184 pounds, and the color is pebble gray. And Canson, De La Rowney, actually with Canson, actually are friends of the channel, so they sponsor the channel, which is nice. They're one of the sponsors. So is Badger and Speedball. So I appreciate those who are friends of the channel, and especially Badger. Badger is a really good friend of the channel. Ken is great. She dealt with Ken, he's fantastic. And he really cares about his artists, and that's the big difference. Oh, thank you so much. Not people gray, Wendy. Isn't spell check the worst? Spell check will really make you say things that are totally out of the ordinary. Okay, so right now we're at 11:04. So many good things are going on right now with the new YouTube live stream. Is that I really don't need another computer. I can see everything on that one screen. It's good to have two screens, of course. But yeah, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Of course, cost me 100 hours of aggravation to learn how to do it. But once it worked out, it's great, So as you can see, her teeth are very, very loose, and we'll get more involved and everything like that. I actually took this this particular photo. It was a really bad photo. I put it in Krita, and I actually wanted to work on a bad photo and see if I could work on it in Krita to, make it, a doable painting. That's one of the things I've been practicing lately, is taking photos that are really kind of poor quality and really working them up, and it's been working out because it has a different look, and also I can accept part commissions of photos that are really bad quality. See, her teeth sort of are rounded, and they go up a little bit here, and then down here. So you see, I'm really just trying to get the anatomy of her lips. So now we're starting, even though we're still early in the game, right? We're starting to get her personality, and I think that's great. That's what you want. You want her personality. So looking at this, I think the contrast a little higher than my painting. So let's go here, and we'll just lower the contrast a little bit. There we go. A little closer to what I'm seeing. Oh, let's put up the photo that I'm working on. Wouldn't that be great, guys? Yeah, Tim, let's look at what you're painting. So let's see, is this it? There she is. She's a cutie. Let's move her on over there. Okay, so you see what I'm working from. So you can see that it's not all hard-edged, and it's not a perfect photo, but I want to be able to use it, It really is, Willie, to be able to, work in digital art, to fix paintings, makes a big difference, and we're not limited to a perfect photo. How many times have you seen photos, I know I have, where it's like, oh, that is like the best image, but then it's just not clear. Thank you, Wendy. It's just not clear, and then you're like, oh, I can't work on it. Right? And then you're upset, and you're like, oh, I wish I could make it a better picture. But in reality, we don't have to worry about that. We can still salvage it. So I want to show you what I've been working on. I've been working on the science of light and how it pertains to skin, as I was talking about here. So this is something that I just finished. It's actually sold. So it actually was only visible for about an hour before it sold. But this is what I'm talking about, guys, is that, with the science of light, you're not just painting the large forms like an arm, but smaller forms on top of that arm, like the triceps or the deltoid or the vein on top of the deltoid. So that's how it's called stacked form. That's what I call it. So that's something we're going to be touching on during this particular painting. Wendy likes that guy. That's funny. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. And so we're going to definitely do a live stream where we're not going to do any painting, and I'll just show you how I fix a bad photo and make it doable. Would you guys like to see that? Just one Wednesday night, just do something like that. How I use digital art to make photos coherent. Well, thank you, Brad. Brad says she's coming out nicely. I appreciate that, my friend. And that's another thing. Always, there's the eyes. Always one eye is bigger than the other. One eye is a lot of times lower than the other. But if you see, like someone might say, Tim, one eye is lower than the other. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Let's take a look at the axis. So if you see, we have it slightly lower. Slightly lower, slightly lower. So it is working out the axis is working out. So, you know, we do have it correct. So yeah, even though it might look out of the ordinary because we want everything to be, so we have definitely a yes from Willie as to how I will prepare a photo to be painted from. So that's good. So I'm glad. I'm going to do that. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun live stream. Now I'll make sure I pick a photo that's really beautiful and, you know, should have, you know, where we can turn it into a doable image to work from. Okay, so I have my, look at that, she looks like she's all bundled up, you know? I like the winter time, you know, when women get all bundled up with scarves and hats. It's so darn cute, you know? I just like girls, that's my problem. That's my problem. I think it's my problem. And let's see. Women have always gotten away with murder in my life. So right now I'm just creating that hard edge right under the chin there. And I think that's really cool. Wendy says it's not a problem. So Andre says she's coming out gorgeous. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So let's see what we have. And there's really not much of an edge here. So let's pull this out a little bit. Okay, so I'm kind of liking that edge. But you know, sometimes you got to do it the old-fashioned way. You earn it. You know, so let's use our old-fashioned Mr. Freehand Shield here, and we are going to hit this dark perpendicular and not parallel. Doing the 1 second rule before we do anything else, right? 1 second rule is the best rule. Up here you have to bundle up because it's cold. Wendy says she wish she can get all bundled up, exactly, because it's too hot down there, right? And you guys really don't have much of a winter. So what's the weather like in January, Wendy, in Texas down by Dallas where you are? There we go. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit, and you can see that we're establishing that nice hard edge. A beautiful hard edge on her chin. And when we come in with the medium mixture, we're really going to pop that out, you know? So in January, coldest month is actually February. Hey, Todd, great to see you, my friend. I hope you have a great night. Todd, all the way from San Diego, California, where they have the best weather in the world. Am I right? Am I wrong? That's, Todd, I think, has the best weather ever. So he wins in that aspect. I live in New Jersey, so I'm like middle of the road, you know? We have our good weather and we have our really bad weather. Okay, so you see how I'm starting to look at the lights and darks of her chin area in the mouth, and that's why I say this is, the eyes are probably the most focal point, and then her mouth and this whole area really is a lot of her character, you know? And 40s during the day, teens at night. Okay, that's winter. That's like, that would probably be about March or February here. Green summer and brown in winter. Wow, that's pretty wild. Yeah, that's true, Andre. With COVID-19, it's all in the house, right? About 72 degrees. That's so true. I really hope we get a vaccine and things start getting back to normal. I do miss people. I go to the gym, but everyone is like staying far away from each other. Not that people were hugging people at the gym before, but everyone, it's almost like you don't make eye contact a little bit, you know? Or maybe it's just me. Maybe the women aren't making eye contact to me. That could be it. I think we have a winner. So if you don't have these gloves, they're fantastic. What they do is they have the most important fingers in your thumb free. And so this way you can use your airbrush, your eraser, your pencil. But if you're working and you touch the surface, you're not depositing the oils from your skin and making smudge marks and changing the quality of the paper. So when you put airbrush on it, it's actually going to change the surface, and then you have to fight against that. So these are very important, and I do sell them, and there's a link in the description where you can get them. I have small, medium, and large, so that's good. And you know, we also carry the white pastel, you know, and we also carry the Fons and Porter, which are very hard to get to. This is really fantastic. Get this really super tight detail with the white. It's a 0.5 mechanical pencil, but with white, and it's like a white chalk, and it's easily erasable. So it's really great, you know. Yeah, definitely, Willie. Let me know. I'll take care of you. Get it out right away, you know. So the gloves are really great. They make a big difference. The only time I'm ever not wearing the gloves is when I forget, and then when I forget, I'm like, oh man, I could have ruined my painting, you know? That little ounce of prevention always goes a long way. So you see I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm sort of walking around the surface, and that's what I want to do. I want to continue walking around the surface. And it's just so important. Finishing the last of my soda. In the summer, 3 bugs would have flew in there by now. So I'm not a big fan of the summer, you know. So I'm so glad that the summer's over. For those who love the summer, I mourn with you. I know you're summer people. And you guys enjoy it, and I enjoy it. And I'm glad you guys enjoy it. But I'm a fall and winter guy, you know. I have to say, that's me. Fall and winter guy. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys something. There's a program, if you guys are Apple people. My iPad should have charged a little bit. Hold on one moment. Let's see here. And I am going to... Yeah, I'm not going to do this on camera. You guys can't see my code. It's secret. Okay, so there's a program called Art Pose, which I really love, and I'm going to show you now. Since I paint mostly females, of course, I'm going to be showing you the female version of this program. So it's Art Pose, and it's really great because it is, let's see, so the thing is I have to actually get it situated, and let's see if I can zoom in on her. Okay, so this is pretty cool. So I know it looks kind of scary, it definitely does. But that goes to show you that beauty is skin deep. But if we notice, there's a lot going on here in the forehead. You know, these are all muscles that are actually on top of the orbital ridge there. And you see how there's an indentation over here, and then it comes out. And then you have the temporal lobe over here. And so all of this really just brings home that there isn't much. Now this is called Art Pose, and it's you can get it on your iPhone, and you can get it on your iPad. So definitely look into that. Now I know you can actually turn her into a skeleton. Let's see. finger. Okay, so that's black and white. Okay. Now there was one where I guess they didn't show. Okay, so even now you can see, you know, in looking at her, you know, you can see that the forehead has these lumps and everything like that because of what's happening underneath. Okay, now I know it has the skeleton, I thought it did, but I don't see it. So I have to look into that. But it's a great program, and you can see you can change it from, you know, the way she has, and then you can pose her, which is really cool. So let's say if I wanted to pose her, I could move her, let me see. Anyway, I still am learning the program, so you see you can pose her. So if you wanted to see how to pose a model, you can do that. And then when a model comes, or if you're doing, let's say, comic books or something like that, you can, ooh, she looks scary, doesn't she? Okay, you're like, you know, but that's pretty cool. Anyway, just to show you guys the anatomy of everything, you know? Oh, great. So yes, art pose, really good. So I think it's only like $2.99. It's really inexpensive, if that. So definitely worth the money. And so it's good if you know, have a painting idea or something like that. You're working on a comic or something. You want to see how to pose a model. You can do it yourself, which is really cool. Oh, here's something I want to show you guys. This is cool. Okay, so I have her here, and then there's ways to do different poses, right? So look, you can get her in different poses, and then you can adjust from there, right? And then you can move it around three-dimensional. That's really fantastic, isn't it? I think. And so, I mean, there's like, probably like, oh, there must be about 50, 60 poses. It's really neat. And you could change the lighting and stuff like that. Now, there's also something else here where you can actually change whether she is really thin. And then there's another, like here, nope, let's go here. Where is that? Okay, you can change her hair and the lighting, which is really cool. So these are things I think would really help if you wanted to do some concept art. So that's a little bonus there. And you can decide the light source, definitely, which is really fantastic, guys. So when I learn new things, I want you guys to learn them as well, you know, because if I have a concept and then I want to pose the model, I can do it on that first, which is really fantastic, you know. So you can change her hair, you can make her a little chubby, you can make her very skinny, all those different things you can do. I really love the, you know, working with this model here. I really love the amount of emotion that's in her mouth area. That's really, you know, I don't know, I think it's like where her beauty is, you know? There's something about her mouth that really strikes me. So we have a little bit of the cheek here. So we got to be careful. This is super, super soft edge. So I'm going to stay a good distance away, right? And we're going to, there's like a little triangle shape here. But I'm going to get it slowly. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So that app, you just go to your Apple App Store, and it's right there. Just type in art pose. You can get the male or female. I get the female because I paint women mostly. So it's really great. You'll love it. Right off the bat, it's just a fantastic program, Raoul. So enjoy that. Yeah, Walking Dead and Halloween pose. That's what I did, right? I didn't do it on purpose. I was just fumbling and bumbling about, you know? I guess Halloween's in the air. Now, I'm just going to continue with these larger shapes that are so super subtle, everybody. That's where Airbrush comes in. Is that with Airbrush you can get these super soft subtleties that only oil painters wish they can get. Sorry, oil painters. You know, it's not always great to be you. Sometimes it sucks to be you. Us airbrush artists, we have an advantage here. And we're happy to take advantage of our advantage. Or, that kind of is like redundant. So I wouldn't say take advantage. To utilize our advantage. That sounds better. That's like Austin Powers. Allow myself to introduce myself. Mike, have a good night. Always great to see you. Have a great evening, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, the App Store. So you see, we're getting a little bit of personality, right? That might look too dark right there, but you know what? It's all gonna fall into place. Look how cute her mouth is. It's so cute. And Google Play, yes. So is it for Android as well? Those of you who have Android tablets? You know, Samsung, you know, I kind of wish I got the Samsung, but because I'm a Krita guy, right? I love Krita. So I use Procreate with the iPad, right? However, the Samsung at the time was the same price, but Krita didn't come out for Samsung. Now it's Krita for Samsung, the tablets, but not for iPad. So that sucks, you know? Because if I can have Krita mobile, that would be a game changer for me. If you guys haven't had Krita, I really recommend it. Brad, thank you so much. Have a great night, sir. Brad rules. Yeah, no Krita for iPad. Ah, yeah, I know. What's up with that? You know, I think it's because it's, shareware and stuff like that. So those of you who I want you to go do this. If you haven't used it before, it's a free program. www.krita.com. I take that back. www.krita.org. Now that is a great program, and that's where I would utilize the Krita to make bad photos into good photos, like I did to this one. Change the edges and everything like that. So this has been a really great live stream. Some are so-so, right? They're always wonderful because you're here, but some of them I have technical issues or whatever. But this has been just a fun live stream. So I thank you for that, It does work with MacBook, yes, which is really great. So highly recommend it. And so that's cool. So yeah, you definitely would, I'm just going to continue working on different parts. See her hair here. I could work on that a little bit. So, okay, so we're just finishing up part 2, but you can see we actually made some good progress. We don't have a tight deadline, so we're not in any rush, right? So it's not like, it's like we have to speed up and no, not at all. We're taking our time. We're taking our sweet time, enjoying it. and doing it right. Is that correct, guys? That's what we want to do. We want to do it correct, and that's the story I'm sticking with. So, go ahead if you want to see it again. I'm going to leave this on Facebook, so that's going to be, and I'll leave it on YouTube, and I'll have the link on Facebook. And let's see here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish this up. So I hope you guys. Now Wendy has the Wacom. That is true. That's fantastic. So yeah, we did really well today. Even with a bad hair day going, you know, what are you going to do? Tomorrow's another day. I need more, what is it? Pomade. Pomade works well, but I didn't use any pomade today. And this is what happens. So thank you guys, everyone. Wendy, welcome back, everyone. We did a lot of fun things today. What did we do today? We had the close-up cam. That was a lot of fun. And so I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with me, Willie, everybody. God bless, and take care of yourselves. We're going to end this stream like that with hitting this button. Watch this. Bam.